one of the really striking things that every artist is confronted with is the prospect of their own imminent demise as they place the pen on the paper, as they place the paintbrush on the canvas. We use the phrase writer's block, or being artistically blocked, but really the language is not commensurate to what's actually going on, because you actually underneath feel as if you're going to die, because what you're giving yourself over to is a much larger pattern in the world than your personality can actually hold together. And your personality, you intuit, will not survive the next stroke of the paintbrush on the canvas, or the next line that you might write. So the feeling, actually, the experience, is that you will not survive, and that you're going to die. And unfortunately, in some ways, the intuition is entirely correct, because you actually won't recognize the person who emerges on the other side of this horizon. I think that's one of the powerful experiences you feel from Jerry's life and work, is that there's a tremendous underlying faith to it, and a faith in the emergence of things, and a lack of willfulness. And I think one of the great things about the horizon of death is that you intuit that on the other side you will have to exist without your willful attempt to hold everything together. And you'll actually have to give yourself over to a much greater substrate, a much greater flow, where things hold together out of the nature of their own belonging. And so what you're actually doing is joining the great belonging. But in order to do that, you have to have faith in your own particular way of joining the great cosmos, the great world that you're attempting to describe through your art. So I suppose that Jerry's step was the ultimate artistic step, first in actually stepping away from his old life and his old life as an artist into something where there was very little there to begin with, very little at all. And it seems to me that this is a real indication of courage, because quite often we will ask ourselves when we want to take a step in life, how much courage does it actually need? And usually when we ask that question, we're really saying, how little courage can I get away with? How little courage do I have to come up with in order to want to achieve for myself? But almost always when you ask about courage, what is asked for? I have a couple of lines, which is an image from a poem of mine I wrote in the Himalayas, actually, when I was up there in the high mountains trekking, and it's called Tilicho Lake, and the first lines go something like this. In this high place, it is as simple as this. Leave everything you know behind. In this high place, it is as simple as this. Leave everything you know behind. Step toward the cold surface. Say the old prayer of rough love, and open both hands, and open both arms. Those who come with empty hands will stare into the lake astonished, there in the cold light reflecting pure snow. There in the cold light reflecting pure snow, the true shape of your own face. There in the cold light reflecting pure snow, the true shape of your own face. Now, almost always when we see the reflection of our true face emerging from our life, from our art, from whatever we're forming, it would actually frighten you to death, because it is a face actually that is bereft of many of the lineaments and aspects that make it recognizable to you. And it is a face also that is willing to face the difficulty and bitterness and loss and difficulty of existence. And when you think about it, if there's anything that art leads us by the hand towards in friendship, then it would be loss and difficulty. And the fact that even though we're a part of life and part of this incredible story where you're asked at one time or another to leave almost everything you have behind, and that everyone you know will in some way disappear from you, whether they're your children or your partner or your people or your community, they will all change and go during your lifetime. They will not exist in the same way. We are really creatures who are married to the great unknown, and we're creatures who are married to loss. And yet, if you look at the way that we actually try to tell the story in our mainstream society through the news and through the media, that loss is almost always totally turned away from and ignored. So the great role of the artist is always to lead people gently and in friendship towards the horizon of dying. Not in the sense of ultimate loss, but of joining something where it's just as if you're losing your old house, but you're stepping out of your door and you're stepping out into a much larger territory than you've inhabited before. But because you don't recognize the territory, what you actually see outside your door is absolutely pure darkness. You cannot see anything outside your door at all. It's always seemed to me that life is this constant cyclical experience of making a home for yourself in existence, a house of belonging. And that just as you have everything in place, there's a knock on your door and you're out. And the first feeling is that there's something wrong with the world and there's something wrong with myself, that somehow the world is merciless and it will never leave you alone to actually live in comfort. But as you get used to this cyclical experience of living and dying, you come to realize as you look back over your life that life is not merciless, it's actually infinitely merciful. And it is constantly coming to our door to invite us out into much larger homes than we could imagine we belonged to in the first place. But almost always the first experiences